The Sundowns up against Egyptian outfit Pyramids. Not only that, but leading up to the final, a new trophy was unveiled and it is here with us in the studio. I'm not allowed to touch it. I don't know, maybe it's because it's too heavy and they think I'll drop it. But anyway, we'll respect protocol, but it is so beautiful. There's been a lot of talk about a trophy in South Africa in recent days. A lot of people were disappointed when I was listening to some of the shows talking about one of the trophies of the other competitions, but I don't think anybody will be disappointed with this trophy of the CAF Champions League. And guess who's brought it? A Champions League winner. A CAF Super Cup winner also, by the way. Needs no introduction to South African football. Poster boy of the 2010 FIFA World Night, the General Donna Doni. Good evening, Donna. Thank you for being here on Radio 2000. It's always a pleasure seeing you, man.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
No, I'm great, man, Teko. And you know, every time I see you, I'm just amazed at this transition that you have made just from playing football to still being relevant outside football and long after your career. And sometimes I do media training actually at some clubs, and I always use you as an example of just how during your days you were able to interact with the media and you were always available, even as tough as it was. But was it easy to make the transition for you, and how's it been? No,
it wasn't easy at all. I mean, the simplest thing that one could have done is actually go into coaching, because that's something that I was offered too when I started announcing my retirement. But the reason why I didn't, it's because I had no passion for coaching, and I didn't want to do something because it's available for me. And at the time, I wasn't even sure whether I wanted to be in the media space, into broadcasting, because I started doing broadcasting while I was still playing. And when that happened, when the offer came up after retirement, I think it kept me so busy, and I fell in love with it, because then I still contributed to football, because that was my biggest worry. So then how then would I contribute outside of the game, but still, to the game, and exactly what I'm doing in terms of analysis and still be part of Mamelodi Sundowns as a legend himself.
Yeah, but it's also because of your work and the medals that you've won, including this trophy here. Where does it rank, the Champions League success for you in your glittering career?
Oh, first though, because the reason is it's because you're competing against the best teams in the continent, and also teams that have been competing in this space know how difficult it is to actually get into the final. And the logistics of traveling and being able to play against the best, playing against different teams in different atmospheres is very, very challenging, and to win it, it's the pinnacle for me. As much as yes, I played in the World Cup, winning this trophy was it's the most for me.
Because you'll always be remembered for winning Champions League as well as Super Cup, by the way, Teko. Then let's look at, firstly, what do you make of, there seems to be a lot of excitement around the trophy, especially from the supporters. It fascinates me. Is it the same for players? Do you also want to see what you're going to be holding?
Of course. I mean, for the players, of course, you especially when there's always a new trophy that is going to be revealed, so the anticipation, it's there. You want to see how it looks, and you also want to compare to the previous one. We know how iconic the previous one was, but also this, I think it just resembles and symbolizes the evolution of African football, and it is a new dawn. And yeah, man, Saturday comes. The two teams that are playing in the final, they will be the first names. Whoever wins, in the two-legged final, will be their first teams actually to have their name being embroidered in this trophy. So it is very, very exciting. I can't wait to actually hear what the players think of the trophy, because I haven't been had the opportunity to talk to them.
Yeah, and it's not just a replacement trophy, as we are told. You are saying it's a powerful evolution here. This trophy, I can see the silver and the gold. Also, we are told it symbolizes unity, rivalry, and competitive balance amongst the teams. Is it nicer than the one in 2016?
Way nicer. Way nicer than 2016. But time has changed. Football has evolved, and I think also with the trophies as well, we've seen how some of them have evolved, and this one, I mean, it's befitting for the fact that you look at how African football has been evolving all these years.
Yeah, and we're also told that the gold and the silver lines are highlighting both the glory of the champions as well as the honor of worthy opponents, reinforcing the fierce yet respectful pursuit of excellence that defines our sport. And I've got to tell you, whoever designed this Champions League trophy must be called Excellent. And maybe their other name is Excellent because it is really beautiful, guys. I'm not just saying it because it is here in studio. I can't touch it. but I'm going to touch it now. But I can't lift the trophy. Jeez, maybe let me not jinx it here, Teko. But how do you see the final, though? How are you feeling as a Sundowns ambassador, as a Sundowns legend, like you've said?
The feeling of nervousness is there. The reason is because it's a trophy that has been eluding Mamelodi Sundowns for so many years. The last time Sundowns was in the final, it was us in 2016. And ever since, the team has been trying to build a team that can actually go on and be able to win it. So it's been a stressful couple of years because of that. But come Saturday, of course, Mamelodi Sundowns are going in as favourites because they've been in the space for so long. Yet you play in Pyramids that are the first timers in the final. But also playing at home first leg. I think it's exactly what happened in 2016. He played home first and he ended up going to Egypt and actually win it. So I think the stars are aligned. I think the Sundowns have a better team, better, more organized team, more talented team than we had in 2016. I think that it's an opportunity, it's a big opportunity. We cannot look for other seasons. We cannot look back and say, you know, where we failed. I think this is a once-off opportunity. And I strongly believe that Mamelodi Sundowns will do justice, especially playing at home.
What do you mean by organized? Because there was a lot of talk in this campaign. Firstly, some fans were disappointed that Sundowns finished second instead of first in their group. We spoke to Ronwin. He said they've learned their lessons. It doesn't matter whether you finish first or second as long as you are through. Yeah. And then there was a lot of talk about how they were playing in some of the games. Is that what you mean by organized?
Yeah, I mean, look, in the beginning of the tournament, I mean, it was a little bit scary because you look at how Mamelodi Sundowns was playing. Normally, the Sundowns, you know, don't find difficulties in qualifying the group stages. But this season it was very tough. And if you look at 2016 as well, us qualifying, it was very tough as well. So that's what I think that's where the synergy is. But I would like to say as well, at that time, the team had a little bit of issues. You have a new coach that is coming in, trying to also implement his style. And also with the challenge that Mamelodi Sundowns faced in the beginning of the season, I think it translated that as well to the Champions League. And you can only grow because the Champions League is not won in group stages. You know, the more you qualify and then you start getting better and better. And Mamelodi Sundowns, with the experience that they have, I mean, participating in this tournament for so many years, they started getting better. And that's what you need. You need a good feeling. And once they started feeling better by themselves, they started playing better even locally. And I think they peaked at the right time. I mean, even the last game of the season after they played, once they were crowned champions of the league, when we started speaking to the players, they said like it's so refreshing to win. It feels like the season is just beginning because they're so energized. So that's why I'm excited to looking forward into the final, because to them it feels like, you know, it is a new season and they know the pressure that comes with playing into this final and also trying to win it.
So then what do you say to them then? Do you want them to embrace that pressure? What do you say to the players ahead of such a big game at a sold-out Loftus?
I mean, for Mamelodi Sundowns players, pressure comes with just signing on the dotted line. You know, the first day you arrive at Mamelodi Sundowns, once you sign, there's pressure because the competition is so high. And also maybe the advantage that we have is we have 70 to 80% of players that are playing in the national team that are participating in AFCON that came third. So the experience is there, the pressure is there. They understand that. So I don't see us trembling under pressure. I just hope that, you know, with the occasion, you know, it's not going to take over for long. I think after 5 minutes or 20 minutes of the game, Mamelodi Sundowns should be, you know, playing better, should be looking as to score, should be looking like a team that wants to win. And if those are the things that happens, I mean, yeah, I think Saturday will be a good day.
So do you want them to play on the front foot at home and take the initiative?
Of course. Mamelodi Sundowns doesn't know how to defend. Yeah. We don't know how to sit back and absorb pressure. With the team that piles in the pressure for any other team. You look at how they performed even in the knockout stages away. They don't sit back, you know. And I strongly believe when home, with the sold-out affair, I think you know, the fans will be there to watch Mamelodi Sundowns play beautiful football, but also getting the results. And that's the pressure that Mamelodi Sundowns have, and you can't run away from it because as a football, you want to play such games, and not many players, you know, in Africa can actually say that I've played in a CAF Champions League final.
It's interesting you say that because when we spoke to Ronwin, he was even saying they even defend with possession.
Yeah.
Even keeping possession is a way of defending, just moving the ball around.
Yeah, you need to defend with the ball. Football has evolved so much that sometimes you don't even need a Makalele in the midfield to be able to tackle. You need players that can defend with the ball. But you need then high technical players that are very good on the ball, and Mamelodi Sundowns have those. You know, you have Jaden Adams, Ayende, that have been very excellent. Mokoena that has been excellent in that midfield, so they know how to defend with the ball. And at times, you look at how they play. If they do lose possession, it's maybe 10, 15 seconds later they get the ball back, because you don't want to sit back and go back and defend in your box, because then, you know, you're inviting problems. And this is a space, man. Like I said, we have players that are capable, players are fit. Timbazwane is back, and I know the influence that he has in the team, and those are the players that you need most. Dennis Onyang with the experience, he was there in 2016. Tapile Mrena was there in 2016. Temba as well was there in 2016. So they all share the message to the players as well, and I think it's a big opportunity even for the younger ones to be able to lift this trophy.
Are you expecting an open game, considering how Pyramids played against Pirates, or do you think they will be different here?
No. Look, Mamelodi Sundowns is a well-respected team in the continent. No team plays Mamelodi Sundowns openly. That's a fact, and I'm not expecting Pyramids to play differently. They're playing away. In Champions League, you need to know how to play away, and I think they'll try and defend and try to minimize the scoreline playing away, knowing that second leg they might try and actually go and open the game for themselves to go and win the game. But you'll be suicidal if you play Mamelodi Sundowns open game, because you know how technically good they are and how much they will punish you, and you don't want to go into the final or second leg conceding too many goals. So I'm expecting a very difficult game for Sundowns. I'm expecting a low block from Pyramids as well, but also threats as well going forward via set piece as well. They're hard running team, but they do have a little bit of injuries as well. Maybe that might play an advantage for Mamelodi Sundowns. But with their injuries, that means then they have to play differently.
How important will the fans be, Teko? Because we know, maybe not with Pyramids because they don't have a lot of support, but we've seen when our teams go to play Al-Ahly and those other well-supported teams, that the fans are the 12th man in North Africa.
Yeah, and I think that's a message that's been echoed throughout Mamelodi Sundowns fans, especially by the chairman, the importance of them coming in numbers, the importance of them, painting the stadium yellow, because, whenever they sing, whenever they they encourage the players to play better. And also from a fan's point of view, I mean, they've been speaking about the Champions League for so many years. They want to win the Champions League. They want to get that second star, and to be the first South African team to have a second star. So that's important. And I know for the fact that the stadium is sold out, I'm sure that they will be supporting the players throughout the game.
And just finally then, Teko, before we let you go, we had our under-20s winning AFCON recently. We've got a new trophy here. South African football is in a good space, but it also looks like African football is in a good space. What do you think has led to this change, and how do you feel about where African football is under the leadership, obviously, of the CAF president, and where South African football is at the moment?
Look, I think ever since he took over, a lot has changed. There's a lot of investment that has been put into the game. Infrastructure has been improved. Countries and teams are able also to develop players from the young age, focus on developing players. Of course, Morocco has been far ahead, but other countries as well are catching up. And you look at also from a South African point of view, I think also the landscape has shifted a little bit, and thanks to Bafana Bafana, how they did well at AFCON, because we always being a team that bubbling under, they have a quality, but we hardly show. We speak about how we have the best league in the continent, but we hardly show, especially in those type of tournaments. But when that happened, you look at also from a South African point of view, you have a DDC, you have big teams that are grooming players, bringing them into the first team. That helps the under-20, that helps the national team, and I think we're in a good space. And of course, it took us 10 years to get here, but I can just imagine, how the next 10 years will look like, because we speak of all these great coaches that have been giving young players an opportunity, but we hardly speak of the coaches that are actually doing the work.
Yes.
The Joseph Makanyes that are playing these players. You look at Orlando Pirates, 7 or 8 players from there, and those are guys that actually need to be celebrated more.
Yeah. Okay. Now we celebrate you also, Teko. Every time we see you,
you
deserve to be celebrated. You are a leader of men on and off the field, and it's amazing what you've done with your career, even outside football. And we wish you everything of the best. Thank you for joining us tonight in the studio.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.